There's a big political showdown happening in the Senate right now, and it's all about whether President Trump's big, beautiful bill will pass. The House of Representatives already approved it, but now it's in the Senate, and that's where things are getting tricky. Republicans have a small edge in the Senate, with 53 seats out of 100. That means they can't afford to lose more than 3 votes from their own party. If they do, the bill fails, and no Democrats are expected to support it. The challenge? Republicans themselves are divided. Some think the bill cuts too much, especially from health programs like Medicaid, while others argue it doesn't go far enough. A few have even floated future cuts to Social Security as part of broader spending reforms. That's creating real tension, since many Americans view Social Security as off-limits. So let's break it down. What's actually in the bill? What's being debated? And how could it affect your benefits? Let's take a closer look at the key proposals and the high-stakes fight unfolding in the Senate. One of the first issues causing real disagreement among Republicans is Social Security. While President Trump has pledged not to cut Social Security benefits, this bill falls short of earlier promises to eliminate taxes on Social Security income. Instead, it introduces a $4,000 standard deduction for seniors 65 and older, but only if you make less than $75,000 as an individual or $150,000 as a couple. That's meant to lower how much of your income is taxed. And for many seniors, every bit of relief helps. But this deduction is temporary and set to expire in 2028. Still, many seniors were hoping for more, especially the full repeal of taxes on Social Security benefits. Some lawmakers, like Senator Ron Johnson, have even proposed reclassifying Social Security as discretionary spending, meaning it would need to be voted on each year, a move that could threaten the stability of the program. A lot of people feel like they're being taxed twice, once when they earn the money and again when they retire. The failure to fix this issue is frustrating for many, and some lawmakers have said they want to revisit it later. This internal split has made it hard for Republicans to agree on how far to go. Some say the bill should do more for seniors, while others are worried about the rising national debt. And then there's Medicaid, another major sticking point. If you or someone in your family uses Medicaid, here's what you need to know. The bill proposes new work requirements for certain adults to qualify. It also freezes provider taxes that many states use to help fund Medicaid, especially rural states. That means some states could lose critical funding, making it harder to keep local clinics and small-town hospitals open. In some areas, seniors could be forced to travel further just to access basic care, which adds both time and cost, something that's not always easy for those living on fixed incomes or with mobility issues. Senators like Susan Collins from Maine and Lisa Murkowski from Alaska are speaking out. They're worried that seniors and rural residents would be hit the hardest. When healthcare access is already limited, even small funding changes can have big effects: fewer doctors, longer travel, or higher costs. In states with large rural populations, this could quickly turn into a crisis of access, where seniors are unable to get timely checkups, treatments, or medication support. And then, there's the idea of new copays for Medicaid users. Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri calls it a sick tax. He says that asking people who are already sick or poor to pay more just to see a doctor isn't fair. And for many seniors on a fixed income, even $5 or $10 extra could mean skipping a visit or prescription. This change could discourage preventive care, leading to worse health outcomes and higher costs down the road. Beyond healthcare and taxes, the bill would also raise the debt ceiling, which is basically the country's borrowing limit. Senator Rand Paul and others say they won't vote for that unless Congress also agrees to slash federal spending back to 2019 levels. That's a big ask. It would mean cuts across the board, including programs that help seniors and veterans. Programs like housing support, transportation assistance, and nutritional programs such as Meals on Wheels could see funding reductions if these spending targets are enforced. So right now, you've got moderates like Murkowski and Collins saying the bill cuts too much, and hardliners like Rand Paul saying it doesn't cut enough. And with only 53 Republicans in the Senate, they need almost every single one to say yes. This creates a fragile balancing act where every vote counts, and just one or two defections could send the entire package back to the drawing board. And here's the kicker. Even if the Senate passes the bill, it doesn't go straight to the president. It has to go back to the House of Representatives. If the Senate makes too many changes, the House might not agree, and the whole thing could collapse. That would mean more delays, more uncertainty, and potentially another fight just to keep the government funded. So what happens if it fails? The U.S. could hit the debt ceiling later this summer. That means the government might not have enough money to pay its bills. Social Security checks could be delayed. Veterans' benefits could be paused. And financial markets could get rocky, which could hurt retirement accounts. If markets drop suddenly, many seniors relying on 401(k) or pensions might see their nest eggs take a hit. This isn't just a Washington issue. It's a real concern for anyone trying to live on what they've worked for their whole lives. We've seen this kind of fear before. Back in April 2025, financial markets took a hit after Trump announced new tariffs on goods from China, Mexico, and the European Union. That single move sparked panic among investors, and many 401(k) and retirement accounts saw sudden losses. So when people hear that the government might not be able to pay its bills, they worry, and for good reason. Now, let's take a moment to clear up some confusion around Social Security and Medicare. Many people are wondering if this bill changes how much they'll receive from Social Security. It doesn't, at least not the monthly benefit amounts. But here's the catch. It could still impact how those benefits are taxed. If your income lands near the current tax thresholds, even small changes in deductions or rules could push more of your Social Security into taxable territory. That's frustrating for a lot of retirees who feel like they're being taxed twice, once when they earn the money and again when they receive it in retirement. And while this bill offers a new $4,000 deduction for some seniors, it doesn't fully fix the tax problem. It's one of those issues that keeps getting talked about but never fully solved. And what about Medicare? A lot of people lump Medicare and Medicaid together, but they're different programs. This bill doesn't change Medicare benefits for now, but it's always worth watching, especially as lawmakers look for ways to trim spending. If they're already eyeing Medicaid for cuts, Medicare might not be far behind in future negotiations. So this is more than just another Washington debate. It's personal. If you're retired or close to it, this bill could affect your taxes, your health care, and your peace of mind. And for those living on a fixed income, even small changes can hit hard. These changes could shape how you live day to day, whether you have access to a doctor, whether you can afford medication, and whether your benefits arrive on time. So here's what you can do. Stay informed. Call your senators, especially if you live in a state where one of the swing votes is like Alaska, Maine, Kentucky, or Missouri. Let them know how these changes could affect you. They really do pay attention when enough people speak up. If enough voices are heard, senators may feel more pressure to protect the services and support seniors rely on. And finally, what worries you the most about this bill? The Medicaid changes, the tax deductions, or the risk to Social Security and benefits? Let me know in the comments. You're not alone, and your voice matters.